Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is Ram from RamsTheNameCom. I'm back for another video game collection video, and I'm back doing PS1. Oh boy, he's back. It's Froggle for the PS1. This game is a very challenging game, but it's pretty fun. If you're a big fan of Froggle on the arcade machine, you might enjoy this. It's basically that, but in 3D. With a bunch of new revolutionized 3D platforming with the same exact controls as the arcade classic. It's a very, very hard game, but if you enjoy Froggle, you might enjoy this game. I give it like a 6 out of 10. It's not the best game I've ever played in my life, but it's enjoyable, and yeah, there's some fun to be had. I got this game recently, like last week, recently at a flea market, and I paid I think $3 for this game. So yeah, moving on. Put it aside. And what next? What else we got? We got freaking Atari Anniversary Edition. Wait a second, didn't I do this game? Well, you might be confused because you see this case. It's the Atari Anniversary Edition case, so it must be that game, right? No, because I keep a special game in this case. It's freaking Marvel vs. Capcom for the PS1, a game that's worth like $120 used, which is freaking fantastic. But yeah, I keep this game in this case because this case is nice, it's clean, and might as well use it for something good. I'm not gonna use it for the Atari game because the Atari game is not that it's not worth much. I mean, you can emulate those games, so why even keep the CD? You can emulate the games. But yeah, I'm using the Atari case for this one PS1 game. And Marvel vs. Capcom for the PS1 is a game that my brother bought for me for my birthday back when I was 4 years old. When I was 4 years old, my brother bought me a whole bunch of used PS1 games and the PS1 console itself for my 4-year birthday. Is it 4 years or 5 years? I don't remember too well. But either way, he got me this game, and it didn't have a case. It was just the loose disc of Marvel vs. Capcom for the PS1. And yeah, it's a fun game. I love it. I still love it today. I give it like a 9 out of 10. It's a fun, 2D beam-up game, like Street Fighter, which, it's Capcom. Of course, it's going to be a fun Street Fighter-like game, because they made Street Fighter. But anyway, yeah, it's a fantastic game. I love it, and it's a nice centerpiece to my collection of PS1 games. I think this is like the most valuable game I own. I do own other valuable games, but this is like the pinnacle, the most expensive game that I own, and I didn't pay for it. I got it for free. But yeah, yeah. Moving on. Ninja Gaiden, Shadow of Darkness for the PS1. This is another game that my brother got for me for Christmas. He didn't get it for me for my 5-year or 4-year birthday. He got it for me for Christmas around like I think 2014. And yeah, it's a fun game. I do recommend it. It's very challenging though. It's like, you ever played Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox? Ninja Gaiden Black for the Xbox. That game's a fun game, but it's a very challenging hack and slash game. Well, this is the exact same thing. So I think Team Ninja whipped off this game when making that Ninja Gaiden game, because this game is very similar to that, except for it came out like in this came out in 1998, while Ninja Gaiden Black I think came out in like 2002 or something like that. But yeah, this game is really fun. It's just very challenging. I highly recommend it if you have a PS1, and I give it like a 7 out of 10. It's either 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10. What should I want to give it? I'll give it like a 7.5. It's very fun. I highly recommend this game. It is a very challenging game. You die a lot in this game. It's kind of like a rage game because there's a whole lot of traps in this game where you have to avoid traps and obstacles. And sometimes when you open up like a treasure chest, it might have a bomb in it. But yeah, it's a fun game. I highly recommend it. 7.5 out of 10. It's good. Next, we got freaking Tomb Raider for the Tomb Raider 3. Excuse me, Tomb Raider 3: Adventures of Lara Croft for the PS1. This is a fun, fantastic PS1 Tomb Raider game. It's not my favorite, of course. Tomb Raider 2 is still my favorite PS1 Tomb Raider game, but this game is pretty freaking awesome. I give it like a 7. It's great. I mean, it's more tomato. It's a fun it's like a fun strategy fight that controls platforming game. So it's like Octodad. It's like Surgeon Simulator. It's like Snake Pass. It's like I Am Bread. It's like Getting Over It. Those kind of games. So if you like those kind of games, you might like this a lot. It's a fun little platforming game. I do love it. 7 out of 10. And I got this game at a I got it at a flea market. Yeah, a flea market. Actually, wait a second. Did I get this at a flea market? No, okay. Okay, this one I got at a library for like $2 or something like that. I can tell because I opened up the case and it fell apart. This is definitely the game I got from the library for $2. Anyway, moving on. Next, we got freaking Need for Speed 3, Hot Pursuit. This game has a gimmick where the cops chase after you if you go over the speed limit. If you accidentally like crash into a car, or if you crash into a wall, they'll chase after you. And it's a pretty fun gimmick to have like the cops chase you while you're racing the other cars. It's a fun gimmick. And yeah, it's a fun racing game. I give it like an 8 out of 10 for the racing genre of video games. It's a very fun racing game. I got this game from my brother again for Christmas. So he got me like a whole box of like PS1 games, like 20 different PS1 games, all used. He just gave it to me for Christmas back in like 2015 or something like that. And yeah, it's very fun. I do recommend the game. And yeah, it's good. Get it. Next, we got freaking Wu-Tang Shaolin Style for the PS1. This is another game that my brother got for me for Christmas back in like 2015. Again, it's like a whole collection of like 25 PS1 games in a whole box. But yeah, freaking Wu-Tang Shaolin Style. This game was meant to be a whole different rated M, like a rated A adult like fighting game. Where you gotta fight like demons in hell. Like you fight like a dominatrix. You fight like a midget on like stilts. You fight like an insane person, like a one of those straight jackets, like a mentally ill person in a straight jacket. You fight like demons and all that stuff. It's a massive game that didn't get published because no one wanted to publish a game. So they decided to scrap the game but use the same exact engine and then turn it into Wu-Tang Shaolin Style instead of using that rated A fighting game that no one would buy. But yeah, Wu-Tang Shaolin Style isn't any good. No, it's not that good. It's kind of a messy fighting game. I give it like a 4 out of 10. It's not like the worst fighting game I've ever played in my life, but it's pretty clunky. It doesn't control well. The combos are pretty messy. It's not very intuitive. It's kind of a mess. I give it like a 4 out of 10. I do not recommend unless you're a big fan of Wu-Tang Shaolin. I mean, if you're a big fan of the band Wu-Tang, you might like it. But I didn't like this game at all. And yeah, 4 out of 10. I do not recommend that game. Next, we got freaking 202, starring Lara Croft for the PS1. This game, 8 out of 10. Highly recommend this game. It's a fun, it's a very fun game, again, but if you're not into games like Surgeon Simulator, if you're not into games like Octodad, Snake Pass, I Am Bread, Getting Over It, if you're not into those kind of games where the controls are messy, but that's the entire gameplay of the game where the controls are so clunky, you have to fight the controls and, get across the other level or get to the other side. Like, the entire game is built around these clunky controls, so it's not like a terrible designed game, because they know that the controls are clunky, but they built the game around the clunky controls, which means the controls are actually good. It's like, it's like Sneak Pass. It's like I Am Bread. The game, the whole entire game environment, the background, the setting is built around the gameplay. So yeah, the controls may be clunky, but the game is built around those clunky controls, so it makes it better. It makes it easier to play, kind of. That's like the gimmick of Tomb Raider. It's supposed to be clunky. But yeah, it's a fun game. I highly recommend it if you're into those challenging platforming games like Octodad. If you're into like Iron Bread or something like that, you'll love 2 for the PS1. But if you're not into that stuff, if you played any PS1 games, you'll probably get used to this game and you'll probably be able to play it. And if you never played a PS1 game in your life, you probably wouldn't enjoy this game. You probably would want to skip it because this game is a very of its time clunky game. So if you never played a PS1 game in your life, you might want to skip it. Unless, of course, you're into like Iron Bread, Surgeon Simulator. If you're into that kind of stuff, you might actually enjoy this game, even though you never played a PS1 game in your life. But yeah, good game. Recommend it. I love it. I got this game at a flea market for about $5, I think. Yeah.